Happy Aloha Friday, gang. Counting those days down, man. It's getting super close. This will be our second time we go check out Alika. I kind of like it, what we did last Friday, right? So we all hung out there for a little while, and then Alika asked each person kind of what you kind of wanted to work on, right? Then he thought up a little drill for us to work through. I think we probably did it for maybe an hour. Not really super long. Nothing too intense, right? There are a few like mid level heart rates. No high level heart rates. So that was good. It's kind of perfect with what I've been doing for this last week of training, right? Every day was UFC. Help out with the coaching for the most part. Some rolls with pretty much with people that I know, right? I roll with, I guess because, I am smaller, I kind of enjoy rolling with I'll call them the teens, yeah. We got about three or four teenagers that come to the class, and they're funny. There's one kid that's a little smaller, Riley, but the other two, they're kind of tall and lanky, and they're good. They're good. We got a good, nice rolls with them. One of the boys, McCartney, I've been rolling with him for a while, so he's way better than the other two. Actually, there's a fourth one, but he doesn't stick around after class. Yeah, class is done, and he kind of just splits. Yeah, so I told Chris, you gotta. I get it. Sometimes the parents want to leave, but if the boy's gonna get better, you gotta stick around and roll. Yeah, that's really where we can give them some input, and then we can push through what we need to do. Yeah, so. Hopefully we can get him to stick around. Yeah, rode a little bit with Riley. I haven't rode with him in quite some time. I guess because we stopped going Tuesday, Thursdays, and that's usually the days that he goes to train. So try to get a feel for where he was at. I was watching him roll. He attempted a buggy choke on I think Viv. It's pretty good. I was pretty impressed, but. We rode together. I don't go hard with him, right? And he's respectful to me too, so he doesn't really go really crazy and go super hard against me. But he kept trying to hit the buggy on me. Sorry, guys, looking for something. He kept trying to hit the buggy on me, but he kept exposing his arm. Yeah. So I kind of told him probably not the best situation to hit it. Yeah, don't hit that buggy in transition because you're gonna expose your arm. Got him in a couple compromising positions, so he kind of understood. I said hit the buggy when you're in like their top side or whatever, but don't try to hit it when we transitioning because you're exposing yourself. Yeah. So that was a good roll. I like I said, I always enjoy rolling with the kids. I try to give them as much feedback as I can, pointers, right? I think a lot of times that's where the gains are made, right? You can take the class and you can do the techniques and stuff, but some of the things that Cart has been focusing on, and I actually did the other class, was that mid-phase. So it's not really a technique, but it's how you transition into techniques. Yeah, if you don't have that solid approach to it, then it makes it a little bit harder to do your techniques, right? I mean, it's nice that you have attack from close guard, but how do you get to close guard, right? Where do you transition from close guard? Like, you don't start a match in close guard. So it's just some of that intermediary mid-phase steps where it puts you there, right? So I had a conversation with one of our students, yeah, and it was interesting to me, right? Because a lot of times we just look at jiu-jitsu as jiu-jitsu self-defense, it's learning the martial art and all that, not really realizing that jiu-jitsu has it can have an impact on you, on your personal life, right? So I was talking to one of my students, and she's a really nice lady, and it's kind of funny because it's actually McCartney's mom. So McCartney's mom would come to the class, and her husband Gary and McCartney, they would do the class, but she would sit off to the side, and she'd be there like every night, right? And then she even told me, yeah, initially I was like, oh, I don't want to do that, like I don't want to be up in somebody's face and all that and this and that. But then she told me, she got a little emotional. She told me that I guess she started to do it to help support McCartney, her son, because the boy's in an age, right? He's 15, right? So I think he's a freshman. He's at that age where you're so easily influenced by your peers, yeah. So when he first started, he had another friend that would come, and he was pretty good too. But for some reason, he just fell out of it, and it takes discipline, right, to do martial art, jiu-jitsu, karate, whatever. It's discipline. It's I don't want to say sacrificing, but putting time behind it, right? So you go to school, come home, some of the kids rather just play in the neighborhood, video games, whatever, right? But a lot of times, you can go in really bad directions if you don't have the appropriate guidance or, the people around you. I don't think they purposely want to set you off track, but they're also guided in some way so that they start to move in not so good directions. And as someone who can be influenced, especially at those teen years, yeah, it's something that you want to make sure your kid is surrounded by positive people with similar goals in life, right? And you can't choose your friends. Obviously you can't choose your friends, right? For your kids, they're gonna choose who they're gonna choose, but I don't know, it's kind of one of those where you want to make sure you set certain expectations, you set examples, the things that you do, the things that you say, they're going to follow a lot of that, right? So you got to be conscious of what you do and say, right? So anyway, she told me she started to help support McCartney, right? And she started doing it. And interestingly, I know the family watches the video, so Gary, this is for you, bro. She started to say that Gary, even after he started taking jiu-jitsu, he started to change a little bit, right? For the positive. She was happy that, and Gary has told me he's lost a lot of weight too, right? So not only physically, but, personality-wise, he came, jiu-jitsu kind of mellows you out, whether you want to believe it or not. Not everybody, right? Some people are just not that way by nature, but it can help you become more at ease with yourself, people around you, right? I mean, you're still gonna have your ups and downs, but she said, yeah, if Gary's not traveling, he's at jiu-jitsu. He's addicted to jiu-jitsu, which made me feel super good because, believe it or not, Gary was my first private, right? So for some reason, I guess because, I'm older, I'm obviously not his size. He's a lot bigger than me, but I'm older, and he asked to take privates from me. So I gave him a bunch of privates, I've been helping him along, and he had some habits that we needed to try to address. And Carter noticed it in the video that a lot of that's kind of gone away. The approach to his jiu-jitsu, what he's doing, it's gotten a lot better. Yeah, it's not so much of that grabbing and holding and insecurity aspect, right? I mean, he's gonna be, Gary, listening to this, at some point you're gonna be up for that promotion, bro. So it's better now that you sense this, right? And then you're getting that hang of learning jiu-jitsu and not just grabbing and holding. Because I kind of cringed a lot of times when I started rolling with McCartney. Oh man, McCartney's tough, but when you outweigh him by 60 pounds or so, right? You're way bigger. But McCartney, he's a tough kid, man. He just stuck it out and he fought through it. So kudos to him, man. It's I love to see things like that where jiu-jitsu can make people's lives better, not only from the aspect of physically, health-wise, learning a way to defend yourself, but also to make life better for you and the people around you. Yeah, I'm not the most emotional guy. You can probably ask Cart and my wife. I'm not very emotional. I'm kind of more reserved and kind of that, that old samurai Japanese mentality, right? But once in a while, gotta open up too, right? So I think that usually gets me the happiest, outside of with my family and stuff, is jiu-jitsu. So I'll come home and I'll be on a high for sure. Jiu-jitsu gives you that, that endorphin feeling, right? Gets you happy and feeling good. So I love jiu-jitsu. I hope jiu-jitsu loves me. Sometimes I don't feel that way, but hey, it helped me build a lot of friendships, understand a lot more things in life, right? And hey, this tournament's gonna test my mental fortitude as well as my physical abilities, right? So let's get it, man. We're right there. We're ready to bring that home for the team, bro. Okay, so enough talking for this Friday evening. You guys all have an awesome weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Os.